Hello everybody, my name is Iyaloobeau and I go by this name on all my social media platforms. For those that are new here, I'm a Namibian trained nurse currently living and working in Germany, and on this episode I'll be talking about two things. One lady reached out to me via Instagram and she requested me to talk about questions that Talent Orange will probably ask them in the interview and to tell them more about the German culture. Okay, and this video is not sponsored by Talent Orange. I'm doing it from myself or by myself because of my followers that are interested or people that wants to come to Germany. Okay, so just a little background. I had my first interview with Talent Orange in 2019, and the interview was a Zoom interview with the project manager that was responsible for Namibia that year. And in the Zoom interview, I was asked personal questions, nothing nursing related. Questions like, what's your name, your age, your family background, and what do you know about Germany? How are you planning on learning the language if you are accepted in the program? And your motivation and your aspirations to work in Germany, and yeah, I think that was all the questions they asked me, nothing nursing related, okay? Sorry, I'm a little bit under the weather. Let me just... Come on. Okay, beloveds. And then after we have made it through, or after I've made it through to the... sorry. And after I've made it through the first round, I was seeing an interview with the CEO of the company, Talent Orange, the agency that brought me to Germany. So the good doctor, he flew to Namibia, and then we had our face-to-face interview. I remember, I think we were 6 or 7 in the group, and we had the interview with him. So, and then he again asked us, or because he already had our profiles, we applied and they already had our information and all that. So once again, he asked us again about our personal motivation, aspirations, why we want to work in Germany. And I think he asked us our research topic and in which department we want to work. And then he gave us a scenario, like 2 scenarios, and giving just symptoms, and then we had to diagnose this patient and tell him our nursing intervention and some medications and whatnot. And then he flew back to Germany, and after 5 months, they wrote us an email that they have found a hospital for us. Oh, and then this hospital, I come at this hospital. So the bosses of this hospital, they came to Namibia and we got to know them, and I found that so good because they gave us again a sense of security because we saw them, face to face, and they told us about the hospital, showed us the hospital, and they informed us if we come to Germany, they'll pick us up from the airport, and they really did that, and they were with us. They took us around the hospital, they bought us, took us around the city, showed us our city, and they were there. They took us to our first apartment, and sorry, I really love that. So we had then the interview with our future employers. And this interview, again, it was more personal, no nursing related questions. And then they asked us about which departments. And the interview was in German. Okay, it was in German, not in English. And that was after 5 months, okay? But we impressed them with the German. So the whole interview was in German. And then they asked us again which departments we want to work and why. And what's the reason why we want to go to Germany, or why you want to work in Germany, and how is learning German so far, do we have any problems, and all those things. It was just more of getting to know you as a person. And then they flew back, and we did our B2 exams. You need a B2 level before you can come to Germany. So we did our exams. It was COVID time, and yeah, after we passed, we then started with the visa applications. But the visa we had to pay ourselves, but other things Talent Orange paid, like the language course, and we used to get a monthly allowance of 4,500. It might be that it changed now because of inflation and all that, but unfortunately, if you want to come to Germany, you must quit your job if you're already working, because the course is only in Windhoek and it's intensive. I remember going to classes at 7:30 until 3:30 every day, Monday to Friday, because the language is not easy and you really need to be invested in it, okay, for you to make it. Okay, and then we came to Germany, beloveds. It was COVID time, so as we took some time, you know, offices were closed and all that. There were no flights. We wanted to give up, but they kept on reassuring us that soon, 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 soon. And seriously, I remember us coming on a repatriation flight. You know, the one that came to get tourists in Namibia. We came with that flight, and I remember us being requested to write a letter, I think to the Ministry of Immigration or Ministry of Health, I don't know, and to write that we want to go even in these COVID times, and if anything happens to us, it will be on our shoulders. They'll probably not be able to bring our bodies back. I don't know, but there was something like that. Yes, so we came to Germany, and then that's the second part of the cultural shock. Okay, beloveds. So we came to Germany, and while driving, I could already see the differences. I could see the nature or landscape is different. Germany has some tall trees and it's more greener. There's a lot of lakes and all that. And yeah, so we came, we got our rooms and all that. And we got some money, some pocket money, because we came in the middle of the month and we only started working the next month. So our employer, they gave us some money, and then we went to the shops, and that's where the cultural shock starts first. So we entered the shop. I'm saying we because we came like a group of 15, and in the beginning we used to stay in the same apartments, so I didn't really feel alone because we had one another. So, sorry, we got some bags from our employer, and we got some gifts, you know, hand cream, sunscreen, pens. We got all those things from our employer. So we all had these shopping bags from our employer. They were orange. So that time we didn't know how to use public transport, or not to use, but buy tickets and all that. We didn't know. So we walked to we were told that there's a shop that is cheaper than others. So we were walking now with our yellow bags, and people were looking at us and all that. And then we went in this shop. So when we entered this shop, we took our trolleys like back home, but we saw people putting their groceries in their shopping bags, and we were like, are these people stealing or what? Are there no cameras here? We were really shocked to see people putting groceries from the shelf back, genau in their bags. So that was me, a cultural shock. And then it comes to paying. The speed that cashier used, it was like lightning bolt. And now it's so fast, right? And then I was, back home we check, and then when the money is there, when we see that how much the whole amount will be, is then we'll start fishing for our wallets to put the money together to pay. So she was done, and she was telling me, I think, that's an euro bit. I'm like, Now I'm there now in my bag looking for my wallet and just taking my time, and I could already see the people not rolling their eyes, but I could feel the tension, because people here can be impatient sometimes, and things must go zack like fast. So I took my money, I paid, and then I'm there. I was expecting this cashier to pack my things like back home. Sometimes the cashier pack, or there's somebody that packs, but in this scenario there was none. I had to pay to pack my own things, and that time I'm even being slow, and the people, they're already grumbling. So I was like, why are they angry? Yeah, but then I got to know that people are really fast here. So if you are going in a grocery shop or even a clothing shop, have your money or your card ready, and once the lady starts scanning, go to the end and start packing your things already. Because sometimes, even if maybe there are 9 people in front of you, especially in a grocery shop, then some people already start complaining that they want another teller to be opened. So impatient that they are like that. So they don't want to waste time in a grocery shop, standing in a queue. And back home we are patient. We'll be there standing, complaining, but at the end of the day, maybe we'll even be standing 30 minutes, 45 minutes, especially those festive seasons. But we'll not complain. But here, nothing like that. Okay, that was for me a cultural shock. And then another cultural shock was the garbage collection. Not collection, but in Germany there is 4 bins. Yes, beloveds, let me just show you the bins I was talking about. There's a huge storm. The blue one is for paper, the yellow one is for packaging, the brown one is for garden waste, and the black one is for like food wastage and all that. Okay, but then the brown one is for garden wastage and fruits and vegetables like the peels. And then the black one is for like when you cooked rice and you didn't finish the rice, you can discard it in the black one. Okay, so in your home you must have then three bins where you separate your things, and then you can discard it outside in your bin, and the municipality will come pick it up. And this is also usually included in your rental. Genau. And I remember getting a letter from the municipality that I have to pay punishment because I did not discard my garbage correctly. So inform yourself, and you can go on Google and read more how to separate your garbage before you come, so you don't go through the same experience I've made. Yeah, and then this might not be a cultural shock, but it is very important information for you. So when you come to Germany and you buy a bottle with this sign, it means that you can recycle this bottle and you get money. Okay, so for example, this bottle, if I return it, there is a video I made on how I recycled bottles and got some money back. Okay, there's like almost in every grocery shop there's a vending machine where you can return your bottles and then you get your money back. You don't necessarily get the cash out of that machine, you get like a receipt, and you can take that receipt to the cashier and she can give you money. Or maybe if you want to buy things, you can buy and then you give that receipt, and that can be a form of payment. Some bottles don't have this sign, but like a Coke bottle, the glass one, that one, it doesn't have the sign, but you can return it and then you get, or beer bottles, not plastic but glass, you can return those, and I think you can get, it depends, some are 15 cents, I'm not really sure, but I'm sure this one and the one of like 15 cents when you return it. Okay, yeah. Don't waste money, guys. When we came, we didn't know and wasted a lot of money because we discarded it wrongly. We didn't know we could recycle them. Genau. And then what was for me a cultural shock again. So in Germany they have a right, how should I say, in Namibia people drive on the left, right. In Germany they drive on the right. And also like when you are even walking, if you are going you are walking on your right side, even in the elevators. So if you're going up, you must be on the right side, because it might be somebody must catch their train fast and they want to run up those stairs, so they don't be screaming, excuse me. You stand on the right side, and those people that want to pass by quickly, they can then walk on the left side. And for me, that's a cultural shock as well. And genau. And what else, beloveds? The weather was very different for me. There are times that, or let me say, the weather is unpredictable, because in Namibia, today's going to rain. You look at the clouds, today's going to rain. For sure today's going to rain, and our rain comes in maybe 2 minutes. It's over, then the sun starts shining again. But here it's so unpredictable. So every time you must have an umbrella in your bag. just in case the rain comes, because from 1 minute to another it can just start raining. Okay, and then most back home we use our umbrella to cover ourselves from the sun. Here, if you pick out that umbrella to cover yourself from the sun, people will be looking at you funny. And Germans can stare. They might probably not say anything, but they can stare. They'll look at you, my dear. You feel their eyes on you. So don't be coming here with your umbrellas thinking you are coming to protect yourself from the sun. Rather get a hat. Okay, rather get a hat and whatnot. And the weather, like for me, the weather was very unpredictable and not really maybe a culture shock, but it was something that I had to get used to, because back home they sun 356 days every year, and here it might be that even 4 months you'll not see the sun, and it can get quite depressing. So when it's summer, you need to be out there, tap in some vitamin D or take some vitamin D supplements. Again, now somebody's calling me, my big finger. Okay, beloveds, I think I just need to inform so they don't Okay, yes, beloveds. And then the other shock, back home, when you are new in a place, people are the ones that are coming to introduce themselves. Like me, I'm Sister Iyaloobeau, and I work here and whatnot. But in Germany, when you are when you are new in that place, you are the one that is supposed to introduce yourself to everybody. So I didn't introduce myself to the colleagues, and I remember once somebody was on the phone and was looking for a certain nurse, and then I knew her name because I heard her talking, or I heard people calling her that name. So I went to her and say, "Hi, Sister, who, there's a call for you." And then she looked at me like, "How come you know my name but I don't know your name?" Hannah, I was supposed to introduce myself to everybody, like, "Hi, my name is Sister Iyaloobeau, I come from Namibia," and what. So for me, that was a culture shock as well, and it was also a cultural shock because some people met me for the first time and they already asked me personal questions. At home, it's not like that. So we were like having breakfast and somebody was already asking me, "Do you have kids? Did you come here with your family? Do you have a husband?" And all those things. At home, it's not like that. You cannot just ask somebody personal questions first time meeting them, okay? And yeah, and also I think table manners is different, and somebody can even blow their nose while people are eating. And for them it's acceptable, and back home you don't excuse yourself to blow your nose and all that. And I think for them it's okay to be talking while eating, because they sit around on the table with family members, and if you are like working, sometimes maybe the kids are going to school and then you are working, and then when you come home, that dinner time is the time to connect and all that. But for us it's different. While we are eating, you don't really be talking a lot like that. You eat and all that, but for them, while they're eating, it's the time they're talking. But at home we don't learn that you don't talk with food in your mouth. It's not like they're talking with food in their mouth. It's just to say that during that time of eating, it's the time they're talking and connecting, and for us it's different back home. So almost you learn you're eating and all that, and then once you're done, you can now talk and a lot of things. So for me, that was a cultural shock. And also, when you enter somebody's house, you cannot just enter with shoes. So sometimes you have to ask if you can leave your shoes on, or if you must remove them. So just don't be entering somebody's house with shoes. And one tip, buy yourself some cute socks. What if you are wearing now socks and you are going to somebody's house that want you to remove the shoes? It will be embarrassing. Get yourself some cute shoes, okay? All right, beloveds, what else? And for me, I think, so when you are visiting somebody, you take something worth, okay? But it's not really possible that they'll give you something when you're going home. Back home, or us in our culture, usually go with a basket, you put something there, and then when you are leaving your visitor, not your visitor, the person, your guest giver. The person that you visit, they'll give you something to take with. But in Germany, it's different. The ones that is going to visit the place, you take something, but it's not like compulsory that they'll give you something to go back with. Okay, so if maybe people give you here 3 cool drinks and you're like, maybe I'll just drink one, the other 2 I'll pack. It's very rude for them. So when you visit somebody, don't take anything with. In case they give you, maybe you visited somebody's house while this birthday celebration, and they'll be like, I'll give you a cake to take with. So don't be taking things, because for them it will be rude if you now pack cool drinks what they gave you. Okay, that's for me, it's a cultural shock. And what else? Let me think. The thing about me, so when I'm doing YouTube videos, I don't usually prepare myself. An idea just comes like that, or somebody asks me, and then if I have time, I'll just get my camera and start talking. That's why sometimes I'll be pausing and thinking what else I can say. But in the future, beloveds, I will be more structured. I will be sitting down, put my ideas together before I can start shooting. Okay. And one thing that the Germans have is a lot of frozen food. Yeah, you find almost everything frozen. I know I'm with the yogurt side, but you find almost everything frozen. For me, that was a culture shock. They have a lot of frozen foods, like pizza, almost everything that you can just warm up. Rice, pasta, everything. Okay. Genau. And one thing that shocked me as well, it's how the shelf life of bread. Some bread even expire after 3 or 4 months, and for me that was totally a shock, because at home bread shelf life is maybe 1 week, but here you find bread that is even expiring in 3 months. Okay, so and yeah, that's all. So one thing that I forgot again to talk about is that in winter or during winter, a lot of people actually wear black. Yeah. Speaking for myself, I find it very uncomfortable, like to wear a bright red or bright orange or bright yellow color in winter. So I wear more neutral colors or dark blue or something like that. Okay, for me that was also a cultural shock, that I see many people actually wearing black, and I don't want to not say stand out, but I think I will feel very uncomfortable. But I like if I have my jacket on, I'll probably wear like a bright color, like a t-shirt, but I will not wear like red trousers. But t-shirts I wear bright, but not like red trousers or yellow shoes. I hope you get what I mean. Okay, but it's all individual, but for me I feel uncomfortable. Okay, and then one thing is that Germans eat a lot of bread, and they eat a lot of sausages, and almost every town or big city has its own brewery. So that says a lot already about their drinking beer habits. Okay, and then what else was a shock for me? There's no security guards at grocery shops, and some retailers like H&M, they don't really have security guards in front. But sorry, designer shops, they have security guards, and then they don't have petrol attendants. So if you are going to fill up your car, you do it yourself, and then you go inside the service station, and then you can pay for your petrol. Okay, and what else did I think I missed out? No, one thing is that people that works in shops, many of them actually underwent 3-year training. So sometimes they can really sell you dreams. And I had a personal experience with that, where somebody sold me dreams and I bought a product, and then later I was not really happy with it. Okay, so yeah, I think that's all, beloveds. If I remember anything, I'll make another video. But I hope that helps you kind of to prepare yourself for the for Germany, and when you come here you won't really get a lot of shock. But we all experience different things in life, but I think that's kind of what you kind of need to know before you come to Germany, and then you can obviously come make your own experiences. Okay, but I find I've integrated myself in the system, and that integration doesn't only have to do with the language, it has to do with interaction with people, it has to do with acceptance, and it has to do with not subconscious, but knowing what kind of person you are, what are you willing to take on, what are you not willing to take on. You not really forgetting who you are, your roots, but also not trying to how should I put it? So you come into a different country in a different culture. You have to try to kind of live in harmony with other people, because you know back home we have a different culture, we have another sense of being, another sense of community, and here is different. So I find it is very important that you kind of accept people's culture, but without you downgrading your own. So you have to find a balance, but then otherwise you'll be able to live abroad if you have that mindset. Okay, and people are different, and not everybody knows about like, so you meet a German, you can't expect them to know what is done in Namibia. That's why you have to talk to people, and actually many people don't know that there's a country like Namibia. Seriously, a lot of young people actually, but all the people they know, because some of them have seen it on TV, or some have visited. Like a lot of my patients have been once in Namibia for holiday, or they have seen Namibia on TV. So, but young people, most of them have no idea. Okay, beloveds, please do consider subscribing, commenting, and sharing the content. And thank you so much. Until next time, bye bye.